Hi neighbors, nice to virtually meet you. My name is Willie Burnley Jr. I'm a renter living on Winter Hill, a community organizer, and a former union steward with Teamsters 122. I'm running for Somerville City Councilor at Large because I believe that we have the power to create a Somerville that shatters this status quo that isn't working for working people. During this pandemic, our community has seen small businesses shut down and people get pushed out of our city while the rich get richer. I know that we can do better. Together, we can build a safer, stronger, and more sustainable city by creating permanently affordable and accessible housing, establishing green union jobs through a Somerville Green New Deal, and holistically transforming our public safety. As a city councilor, I will take on these fights, and I will tell you right now that they are personal for me. I first moved to Somerville after graduating from Emerson College. I lived on Fells Way West, across from Foss Park, and I fell in love with the sound of families and friends playing outside. At the time, I worked as a freelance journalist and wrote about social justice issues such as Trump's Islamophobic travel ban, rising anti-Semitism, and climate change. In 2017, however, I was displaced from Somerville when my writing department was cut entirely and my landlord suddenly raised my rent by hundreds of dollars. Some of you won't understand what this felt like on a visceral level, like those who've been through it before. But when I experienced housing instability, when I had bills coming that I knew I couldn't pay, it was one of the most anxiety-producing and isolating experiences of my life. I'm not telling you my story for sympathy, but to remind us all that the story of displacement has become the story of our city and too many of its residents. Unlike so many others, I was able to work my way back to Somerville, and ever since I've been fighting to close the gap between our stated values and our reality. I've stood on the front lines of our most pressing social movements and staffed the re-election campaigns of both Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Ed Markey. When white supremacists came to Boston for their so-called straight pride parade, I joined other queer youth to organize a counter-protest called Hands Off Our Pride. And when COVID cuts threatened our housing, healthcare, and jobs, I organized with my neighbors to refund the people by moving over $1 million into community care programs instead of more cops. I've organized locally for housing justice with CAS and the Somerville Community Land Trust, as well as for economic and racial justice with Union United and Just Us Somerville, because I believe that the people united will never be defeated. If we're going to end the crises of economic, racial, and environmental injustice, we have to see new possibilities for equitable growth by putting the power in the hands of the people. I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd so that I can march with these movements into City Hall and demand the structural changes that so many of our residents have been fighting for. If you want to join this movement, go to willieforsomerville.com, where you can sign up to volunteer, donate, and learn more about our campaign. You can reach out to me with any questions at willieforsomerville@gmail.com. Thank you.